Yeah, 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 yeah. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, though? What's popping? What's happening? What's going on? You're back in the lab with your favorite neighbor, your man Mark Nash. He is I am he. Another great episode of Breaking Beats. Make some noise. How y'all feel? What's the deal? Y'all see the title? You see the thumbnail? You know what we here for. It's gonna be great, man. This is gonna be a great episode. Let's just jump right into it, man. Let's get it. It's your man Nash.
This that squad sound.
Yeah, man. You're back in the lab with your favorite neighbor, your man Mark Nash. Another great episode of Breaking Beats where we break down business, entertainment, art, technology, sports, and anything else you and I feel like squeezing into those letters. It's a hip-hop political sports show with a comedy twist. We like to let the jokes fly. You know why. Life is serious enough. My next guest brings me great pleasure to bring this woman to the stage. She's truly remarkable. She's not only a cut woman, a trainer, she's the coach for the U.S. Olympic team. So all those rumors that we're not having an Olympic team is trash. I got to put a case on you. Talking to the coach. We're going right to the source tonight. We're going to learn a lot about the business, the journey, but more importantly, hopefully you guys are educated and inspired by her story. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Christine Lopez. How you doing?
Hey, how are you? Oh my gosh, that intro got me going. Let's do this.
I love it. I love it. How you feel, sister?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling so good. I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
I wouldn't have it no other way. How about that? So,
I like that.
First and foremost, let's plug your dope ass channel. You are not you I mean, you do so many things, but you have a dope ass show. Can you tell people how they can find you and what kind of content you got going on over there?
Absolutely. In the Ring with Christine on YouTube. That's my handle on all the social media platforms. But every Wednesday, I have Women Crushing It Wednesdays with my girl Esme and Nika. And that show, we turn up. It's like just ladies having a conversation about boxing, whether we be in a restaurant, in a bar, or at somebody's house. You know, it's just a conversation. We have guests on there sometimes, but we're always talking about boxing, and it's so fun. You got to check it out. 8 p.m. Central every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday. So Women's Wednesday, 8 p.m. Central. Okay, cool.
Yes.
So tell us about your journey. How did you get started in the business of boxing and you do so many things you've been in this business for quite some time. Tell us how you
over 20 years. Yeah, definitely. When I was 6 years old or younger, I decided that I wanted to be a boxer. I had a cousin that would come spend the night, he and his team, to go to tournaments. I was probably like 4 or 5. And I was just like, man, this life looks so exciting. And then I'm going to age myself. Rocky came out when I was 6 years old. And I was like, oh my God, like I have to be a boxer. But back then, it wasn't proper for a girl to be a boxer. You had to be a ballerina or a gymnast or whatever, cheerleader. And so it's kind of my secret fantasy, I got pregnant at a young age, started having kids, thought, you know what, I'm never going to be able to do this. But I got a divorce at 28, had 8 kids, and we all headed to the gym. And I started training with them. Sparring with them.
Hold on. When you say 8 kids, like 8 kids you train, you are a mother of 8?
Well, I'm actually a mother of 10 now, but yes, at the time, 28 years old, mother of 8. Yes.
Get out of here. You look fabulous. I never
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
You take the kids to the gym and talk to us.
I took them to the gym, secretly I was like, I'm going to put my kids in here, they need this and that, but it was for me. And so we got in there and we all started training. Like I started training, I started getting ready to box. I was sparring, working out with all the kids. And then one of the coaches came to me and said, look, do you want to compete or do you want to help your children and help other children? I said, you know what? Let my kids do it and let these other kids do it. I will coach. So I started learning from the old school coaches how to coach, how to do things. I had also been in the ring, so I knew what it felt like to get hit and what worked and what didn't. So, I mean, the rest was history, really. Have my own gym, and just gosh, it seems like all my dreams have come true, really. Like every checklist that I checked, here being with Team USA almost 5 years, that is like the ultimate for a coach in amateur boxing. And I'm the only female. Our head coach Billy Walsh and the rest of the crew, we all work together so well, and I'm the only female, and I love it.
Okay, kind of jumped a little bit because I got
I'm
to ask you about
jumping.
that. No, I love it. I love it though. I love it. Well, let's get into that. So at what age are you when you're going from just coaching your kids to coaching
I was about 29, 30 years old. 29, 30. Yeah. So I was training for about a year and a half, 2 years. And then I started just really seriously coaching and trying to learn everything on how to protect these kids, hit, don't be hit, and teach them tricks of the trade. That was about the age, 29, 30.
Talk to us about the difficulty of being a woman as a trainer, and talk to us about,
For
it's
sure.
such a male-dominated sport. I know you get some scrutiny. Some of your fighters
Sure.
might be like, "Oh man, you got a girl coaching you, bruh."
Sure. No, absolutely. And when I first got into it, I didn't think that it was going to be that way. I mean, I didn't know. I wasn't sure. I had never been there. So there was a female coach there, and I was like, man, there's a female coach here. She's going to help me. Like, she can tell me what she's been through. No, she was the worst one. Like, she wouldn't help me with anything. We went to a tournament. I had never wrapped hands before. She's like, there's 7 girls over there, wrap their hands. Didn't show me how, nothing. I had to figure it out. The men actually were the ones, to help me and lend a hand to an extent. It's like, they're going to help you, but they're not going to help you to be the best you can be, because you may be better than them. You may be better than them, and that's just the reality. So it was tough. It was. And I did have, I left that gym in 2007. I opened up my own gym. I had gotten married. And my husband had nothing to do with boxing. He thought I was crazy. And I'm like, I'm opening up my own gym. He's like, yeah, whatever. And I'm like, no, I'm opening up my own gym. And I did in 2007, Texas Select Boxing Club.
Hey.
Yes. And I had, when I opened up, boxers would come in. Where's the coach? What it is? I was like, it's me. Some stayed, some didn't. The ones that stayed, I would tell you that I had national champions. We would go places. They'd make fun of my boxer because I'm in the corner. Then we would knock their asses out. Can I cuss? Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't give a damn. Go ahead.
Okay. and then that was it. And so finally, locally, I started gaining respect, even though, I had a uterus. So it was quite a journey. And then I guess it was like 2011 or 12, I started, because of the need, we started getting pro fighters on the highest level. We actually fought for a world championship at one time. And I was the Cutwoman. We've been on Showtime and Showbox, HBO back then. And they wouldn't even let me backstage, because I was the female Cutwoman. They're like, where's the Cutwoman? Well, Cutman. Well, it's me. No, I don't think so.
Doing something. I'm sorry. I don't know what that is. Your audio is making some noise over there.
Okay. Is it gone?
Yeah, it's good now. It was
okay. Okay. There's I'm in a dorm and the kids are all around me. So sorry. But yeah, so it was crazy. I mean, even at the lower level, amateur level, when we'd go to Golden Gloves and we go to the good old boys, club to compete, they wouldn't let me backstage to wrap my guys' hands. So it's been a journey, but you know what? It's made me who I am. I wouldn't change it.
Who would you put on your Mount Rushmore of trainers? But matter of fact, let me slow down. What would you compare your style? If they're out of all the legendary trainers out there, current and past, who would you say your style is more like? But also, who do you have on your Mount Rushmore of trainers?
You know what? I've never really thought about that. That's a really good question as far as my style. I would just say a Virgil Hunter. I think he's a great trainer. I don't know if I compare to him. I'm just saying he's definitely on my Mount Rushmore. Uh, um, I think he's fabulous. I also, our head coach here where I'm at now, Billy Walsh, he's from Ireland. He's had Olympians and he worked with Katie Taylor, who I think is just a badass. And he's definitely up there as well. There's, honestly, if I I love Bomac, Esau, and Coach Red. The three of them working together. They're definitely some guys that I admire and I've been able to be around and gotten tips from. So even just watching them, Kay Karoma is one that is amazing on my Mount Rushmore list. Um, Gosh, and the sad thing is that I don't know any female coaches right now that I would say that are up there. Um, like I think these guys that I admire are, unfortunately.
Okay. So how do you would go how are you out of all the coaches in the country, why were you chosen to coach USA team USA?
Well, I'll tell you the way I was chosen to come up here and do camp was I had actually applied. This is another girl story, but applied like 5 years before I came up, and I went up to one of the directors that was a female and said, "Hey, my name is Christine Lopez, and I'm interested in the high performance team. I want to learn more. I want to get involved." And she kind of shrugged me off and took my name, gave me her card. Yeah, called her, nothing. So then I went and I filled out an application because back then you had to have national champs, X amount of national champs, have gone to national tournaments and so on and so forth. You had to have all these accolades, which I did have. I turned in my application, nothing. So then I was like, you know what? I'm not going to worry about it. I have my own gym. I'm building my team. It's all good. And then I got a call from Kay Karoma. And he's like, Christine, please, like, I need you to fill out your application again and get it up here. And I was like, Kay, I've already done it before. I don't know where it went. He's like, I don't know what happened to it. He's like, but I need you to do it. So I did. And they called me immediately and said, hey, come up here to this camp. They want to see how you're going to do, how you interact with the head coach and the other coaches and the team. And so I did. And I've been here almost 5 years since then.
Where were you born at again?
I was born in Austin, Texas, and I live in Dallas.
Hey, Austin, what you think about that guy, Floyd Schofield, kid Austin? How good is he?
I know him. I know him very well. I think he's very talented. I think that he might need to cool his jets a little bit, calling out Keyshawn. I'm not saying that it'll never happen. But there are, when people say there's levels to boxing, it's not just the saying, it's real. It's like a real thing.
I gotta put a case on it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. She said, I know him. He's cool, but he might not be
He's
ready.
talented, but I just think it's too early. I do.
Okay. When you think about boxing and Team USA, right? I remember it was a couple months, maybe a year ago, people saying we're not gonna have men's boxing in the Olympics no more, or because America and say, hey, we getting out of it because of all the corruption. Had you heard those stories and rumors?
Yeah, sure, we do. We hear everything before it goes out, and a lot of times, they're leaked out rumors. These are conversations. There's meetings going on. There has been corruption. It's been in the news. It's no secret. But the people that were in power are no longer in power, and we have new organizations and some popping up, and there's a lot of new things happening. And we are going to have the Olympics in Paris, and we are going to have Olympics after that.
When we talk about corruption, it brings me to a question I love to ask professionals such as yourself. What can we do and what needs to be done to clean up the sport of boxing?
That is such a great question. I think it starts on the lower level. I don't mean lower as in not as important, but I mean the grassroots, the local gyms, the local tournaments. I think that more people need to get involved. As far as being, officials, judges, coaches, supporting the local gyms. I think that there's some people in there sometimes that don't really know what they're doing or don't have a passion or even care that this kid has sacrificed, his whole life and losing weight and not being around family, but you don't give him the decision because maybe that's your friend's nephew that he fought.
Mm.
It has to be fair. If we want the best to represent us in the United States, it starts there in the gyms. It starts in the amateurs. And I think that's how we can start, by getting some good volunteers that really care about these kids.
It's one of the biggest robberies you've seen in the sport.
It does happen very often. I've seen it many times, and it's very sad. Not always. There are some really honest, great people in boxing, but it's definitely happened.
Um, when I talk about cleaning up the sport, do you think there could be stiffer penalties? I always say these penalties are so short. We
Yes.
had Franchon Cruz on. Jimenez only got suspended for 3 months.
I know. I love
Could've
her.
killed
I love
her.
Franchon. Yeah.
Could have killed her in there,
Yeah. No, I know. I mean, that fight was so tough, and I mean, we know why, but Franchon was still there, and I mean, hats off to her. Like, that girl is a true warrior. Yeah, I think so. I think that just a little slap on the hand isn't good enough, and I mean, right now we have some controversy with Jamal Charlo holding the belt for 18 months, um and what are we going to do about that? Like, he should be stripped, honestly. Yes, he maybe has some health issues or family issues, but what's good for the goose is good for the gander. It's like, it has to be strict penalties across the board. Everybody get the same treatment, no favoritism. And we do see that a lot in the sport.
So talk to us about being a cut woman, not a cut man.
Yes.
Stitch Duran is a really good friend of mine. I always call him Uncle Stitch, and he said
Yeah.
he said the guy who taught him. Oh, well, he said no. He said he learned it on just along the way. He said
Yes.
the old cut man back in the day, I would ask them for advice, and he was like, "Man, the hell with you! I'm going to the grave with this shit. I ain't telling nobody."
Right. I don't. Yeah.
You don't
That does happen.
Yeah. So talk to us about being a cut woman who gave you tutelage and talk to us about that journey as well.
Well, I was able to meet Joe Souza before he passed,
Hmm.
Todd Harleb before he passed, and Aaron Navarro, who, thank God, is still with us, a really good friend of mine from Houston. Those three guys really helped me. I mean, I literally would see them at fights. I saw Joe at the Olympic trials when Errol Spence made it. I saw Todd Harleb. He used to work Errol Spence's corners, cuts. He was he was his cut man, and for many other people too. And I would see him at fights. And then Aaron Navarro, I see him everywhere. He's Regis's cut man coach. And I went up to them, in humble. Like, I'm always humble. I do not know everything. I will never know everything. And that is how I approach people. I'm like, look, I admire you. This is what I need to do because this is my situation. What pointers can you give me? How can you help me? And all three of those men were like, call me, whatever you need. One of them, like, come to my house. I will show you what I do. Those three men really, really helped me, to do what I do.
How difficult is it being a mother of 10, but also, like, right now you're away from the children?
Yes,
right?
yes.
How
Yeah, well,
difficult
I will
is
say
that?
I'm 52. So my children
Wow.
are, yes, in their 30s and 20s. My two babies are 16 and 18. So
They're good.
They're right. They're good.
Partying at your crib right now.
You know what? I'm
Party at
like,
the
I call
Lopez
home.
house right now.
Yes, my husband's like, I'm taking them out to eat. We're going here. I was thinking we don't have that much fun when I'm home, but it's okay. But I do have 12 grandchildren. So though I do miss those moments, the birthdays and things like that. But I've asked them all, even my kids, the two younger ones and the grandkids, I'm like, is it okay if I do this? And they're all like, we're so proud of you. Live your dream. You've raised us. You've done everything you needed to do. Now it's your turn. Have fun.
Wow. When you're I did not know that. 50. Wow.
52. Yes, sir.
The water in Austin, Texas, man. When you're not training and helping young talent, what do you like to do?
Definitely spend time with my family. We're always cooking together, hanging out together. My kids used to get so mad when they were young because I would say, y'all don't need friends. Y'all have each other. We have family. And now they're like, yeah, I mean, obviously we have friends, but we're such a tight knit family that we're always getting together. We're always supporting each other in each other's business ventures or school or whatever we might be into. And so just really being with my family. I like traveling too, to different places that I don't go to, during camp. And my husband and I have a few other businesses that we're starting. So we're always busy, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
Mm. So when you on the Olympic team, are you doing the cuts over there as well, or who's doing
So there's three of us that do cuts, yes, because the guys don't wear headgear. So we have to be certified, AIBA certified, cut certified. Regardless if we've done it before or where we've done it, we need that certification to work the corners for the international fight. So yes, we all there's three of us that work cuts.
Talk to us about the process of being certified, because a lot of things in boxing, people walk off the street and do it, or it's
Yeah.
no governing of it.
Oh yeah, with this certification, it's like no, you hours of classes, and it's so funny because I mean I know how to do what I do, but in the classroom setting and like the stress and the pressure of that, like I'm not a good test taker, especially when I have because we had to do videos too, like how we would do certain cuts and how we wrap hands and it all has to follow, the AIBA, now it's AIBA, not AIBA, ruling. And so that for me was tough because I've always just done it, you know. But we did it. There were hours of classes, tests, after every so hours. And then again, we had to do videos of working on cuts, what tools we use, what we can and can't use in the corner, because it's different than in the States. It's different. There's some different things that you can use and that you can't use, and how to wrap hands.
I was just about to ask you that. I remember it was a fight, and it was, I think it was Mayweather versus Hatton.
Uh-huh.
And they were talking about, it was like, oh, this is what we all feared. I said, nah, me, I already knew Floyd was gonna cut him up.
Right. Right.
They was talking about the American cut man had an advantage over the UK cut man because of using the adrenaline 1 to 1,000.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Can you talk to us about why they used that? Why the dude? I don't know. First of all, I don't know if the UK is now doing that, but he's
Right.
like, and
I think now, yes, because we can use that. We can use the adrenaline, 1,000. But there's also things that we can use internationally that we can't use here. Like there is I forget what it's called, but it's like cotton, and you stick it up their nose, and it like stops the bleeding and coagulates very quickly. Well, we can't use that in the States. There's also some other little like patches that we can use for cuts that we can't use in the States. So
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Why can't we use that in the States?
that's a very good question. I'm not sure. I don't know. I know that it's made in another country. I don't know I don't remember exactly where. But I don't know. For some reason we can't use it here. Whenever we're working like the pro fights, we can't use certain things that we can use internationally. Yeah.
Now being the Olympic coach, as you know, there's no more headgear, right?
For the guys, yes.
For the guys, no more headgear. Do you think that's why is that? And do you think that's gonna make the fights more exciting? Do you think that's stopping more people from going to the amateurs and saying, I can't remember who it was, Ryan Garcia was talking to Rooster from his camp. Rooster said Ryan went pro because he said when he was about to go to the Olympics, they stopped using headgear. He said, if I'm gonna be taking punches to the head with no headgear, might as well get paid for it.
Right.
Talk about the headgear being gone.
I see that. So, back in the day, they didn't have headgear. And then we put the headgear back on, and then we took it off again. So it's nothing new. In the beginning, Yeah, the guys aren't used to it. There's more headbutts, there's more cuts. There are. And so we have to be careful. The way that we prepare is like one of our kids will have on headgear, the other one won't, and then we'll change, just so they can get the feel. Um, I think there's pros and cons. I understand what Ryan was saying about, wanting to get paid if he was going to get his headgear off, but then again, I can also see why I would want personally to try it out first in the amateurs before I get on the big stage and I'm shocked not having a headgear on. It's kind of like dipping your foot in the pond. You do it in the amateur so that when you get there on the big stage with the pros, it's like easy peasy. You've been there, you've done it, you know what to do. So that's I think it's fine not having the headgear. It prepares our guys.
Speaking of the guys, we have not had a male gold medalist since Andre Ward.
No. Mm-mm.
Wow.
No, we had silver and
bronze.
Yeah.
Bronze.
And bronze. Yeah. We've had 3 silver and 1 bronze. Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think what needs to be done? So and what are you guys doing over there, Christine, to make sure you guys bring back the gold?
It's coming, trust me. This next team is fire.
Who's standing out? Let me tell you. And tell us to look out for. I don't know. I know you don't want to not mention some people,
but I will come back on the show, and the only reason that I can't is because right now we're in a selection camp, so I have like 2 of each weight class. And they're 2 of the best in each weight class, so I can't say one and not the other, or vice versa, just because of the contract. But I will come back and then I will definitely name names after the selection camp, after the team is named. Absolutely.
I look forward to that. I'm gonna hold you to that.
Absolutely.
How do you feel about the Russians being able to compete? I know that's probably getting a little political, but how do you feel about that?
I don't want them to be punished for what their leaders have done. I'm not a political person, but I don't want to be banned in another country because someone didn't like Trump when he was president, or treated me like garbage because they didn't like my president, or didn't let me compete. Like, it's not fair to me. I know that I think in the pros, they're not able to fight for their title or to something. I don't know. I was reading something. I don't know.
National anthem.
Yeah. And I don't think it's right. I don't, I think that we have to judge people on their character and what they've done and haven't done. And I don't want to be put in a category. I mean, we've been to other countries before, and they're like, they have this stereotype, not all of them, but they have, until they get to know us. We're just dumb, lazy Americans, and we're so privileged.
They kind of right a little bit,
Yeah, sure. Exactly. And then with the media, they see the worst of it. So I always want to meet people, get to know them, and then we go from there. I don't like all that other stuff.
We got a lot of young ladies who are probably going to watch this later on.
I hope so.
My daughter's 3. One day she's going to come back and watch this,
Love it.
I'm super excited about the inspiring part. But earlier this week we had Christy Martin on. I'm sure you heard about her.
Oh, that's my girl. That's my friend. I could call her right now. I love her.
Yeah, man, it's crazy like how everybody knew each other this week. I was like, oh yeah, I know her. That's why this week was kind of so easy to put together, and it's a lot of fun. Talk to us about what would you tell, what would you talk to a young lady who was going through domestic violence, and talk to her about, like, can you give those people who going through that some words of encouragement? Everyone can't fight like Christine or Christy Martin or
right. No, you know what? I can, and I'm gonna tell you why. My first marriage was a very abusive marriage. I had some injuries that I sustained that to this day I have issues. I would say, you know what, baby girl, you're beautiful. Love yourself. Nobody has a right to touch you, to talk down to you, to force themselves on you. You know what? Stand up, put your chest out, put your shoulders back, put your head up high, because anything that you want to do, you can do it. We just have to surround ourselves with the right people. You know, one of the reasons why I opened a gym and started coaching was because I did not have anyone to say, what are you doing? You know, what are your dreams? You don't got to be here. You don't got to do this. And I want to be that. And I will be that to anyone that lets me. So I can relate to everything Christy went through, except for being shot. You know.
When did you realize, like, hey, Christine, when did you start taking that advice that you just gave those young ladies? When did you say, I matter, I'm enough, this isn't right, I deserve better?
You know, when I was pregnant with my 8th child, and unfortunately, fortunately, I love my kids, they're amazing, and I'm glad they're here. But when I was pregnant with my 8th child, and my oldest children were, you know, they were like 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, you know, and they were starting to see things.
That countdown. She said 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
It was like, I'm talking bam, bam, bam. They were starting to see and ask questions, you know, and I had to sneak them out to like go to church and like to go to my parents' house. And I was like, this is bullshit. Like, I'm not doing this. I've always been strong and feisty. And I'm like, why am I allowing this to happen to me? And so I just got up and I left. And when I left, my second child, I will never forget this. He was 7 years old. He's like, Mom, why didn't you leave earlier? This is a 7-year-old telling me this. And then I was like, damn. Okay. I thought they didn't know. I thought that I was hiding it. But that changed my life. And I said, I would never again, ever allow myself to be put in that situation. I would not settle. I wasn't going to marry somebody just because I had 8 kids. I needed someone to take care of me because I was taking care of myself and my kids. And when I married my husband, he married me because he wanted to. And I married him because I wanted to, not because I needed him or he needed me. He's my best friend. And then we had 2 more kids. Been married almost 20 years.
So talk to us about that process, learning to love again, learning to trust again, because that's one of the most difficult parts, especially people who are in abusive relationships. Some of them become abusive later on to other people.
For sure. Yeah. And that was a choice. That was a choice. I'll go back just a little bit about the choices, because every single one of my siblings and I were also sexually abused as children. And that was part of taking away from our self-worth and our self-esteem. And then I found myself in this relationship. You don't feel that you have this self-worth and you don't love yourself, you know? And it happens so much more often than not, you know? And so, but I knew that I couldn't do that to somebody else, either one of those things, and destroy someone's lives the way my life had been destroyed up until I decided that it wasn't just going to be destroyed and it wasn't a tragedy anymore. And it's a choice. When people say, oh, I'm an alcoholic because my dad was, or, oh, I abused children because I was abused, that bullshit. It's a choice. We choose what we want to do. And I choose to side on the side of doing better and helping instead of taking away. But the love again part, you know, I didn't believe in love. I said, you just get with somebody, y'all just make it happen. Y'all take care of each other, or he takes care of you, you take care of her, whatever. But there's love. Like, what is that? I didn't, that's my grandparents, you know.
So love, never heard of it.
Never heard of it. I was like, no, you do what you got to do to get by and get what you need, you know. But then my husband is 11 years younger than me. And I quit my job. I had a great job, making good money. But it was not a good environment for me. And I had to like start over. And I saw my husband, he was working where I was working too. And for me, it was love at first sight. For him, it was lust. For me, it was love. And I was like, I remember I told the Lord, I went home, I got on my knees in the bathroom and I said, Lord, I want this man. I love him. And I remember I heard the Lord distinctly say to me, you're going to have to give him everything. You're going to have to be vulnerable. You can't play your games. You can't do what you got to do. You're going to have to give him everything. And that scared the shit out of me. But you know what? I said, okay, I'll do it. I'll do it.
He said, I heard the Lord specifically.
Yeah. No lie. He knew what I've been doing. He knew what I was doing to get by and get what I wanted. And it's like that. No, you got to be real.
Oh man, this is great, man. I'm enjoying this story. I'm sure some people out there probably never heard you tell this story.
Never. You know what? I will tell you that you are the first.
Yeah. I almost cried just then too. I'm getting goosebumps. Somebody in the chat said they're getting goosebumps too. It's like it's very emotional. How did your family respond when because they would see the marks and bruises? What would they say to you? What would your family say when you was going through those things?
You know, honestly, my dad's passed now. God bless his soul. He didn't. He was just like, you know, my daughter's crazy. She's gonna do what she wants to do, and it was true. I was gonna do what I wanted to do, and he just kind of stayed out of it. My mom, she meant well, but she felt that putting me down more or asking me why I'm doing this stupid stuff and disowning me or telling me I'm not welcome or she won't walk into my house, things like that. She thought those things were going to help me. And they didn't. We have a great relationship now and I love her dearly. But at that time, she just did the best she could and did what she thought. My brothers, they're always fighting for me, you know, and but they also got tired. They're like, you're crazy, girl. You know, we don't know why you put yourself in these situations.
Do you feel like they abandoned you when that was going on? Like, man, like looking back, you're like, man, y'all could have helped me. Why didn't you help me?
You know, I think that I did at one time when I was younger think that. But then when I look back, I feel like as parents, we do the very best that we can. Nobody gives us a manual. Nobody tells us this is what you need to do with this kind of child or this kind of child. And I think, honestly, they just didn't know what to do with me. I really do. But you know what? I don't regret anything because I would not be where I'm at and I would not be who I am if I had not gone through the fire.
Talk to us about you said you were sexually abused as a young child. How old were you?
I was 9.
Can you tell us, like, how did your parents respond? Did you ever tell your parents? When did you get the chance to confront your abuser? I
did not get a chance. I mean, it's probably good I didn't later in life because he probably would have been dead. But you know, I told my mom, but as a 9-year-old, you don't know how to explain things. You don't know what even is going on. Like, you're just so confused and you're so lost and you're ashamed because as a victim, you always feel like you did something wrong, you know? And I was a victim then. I'm not now. I won't even claim that I'm victorious, but my mom didn't know what to do.
Victorious. I like that.
Victorious, absolutely. My mom said she went over there and he was gone and the wife said, oh, she's sorry, and that was it. And I'm like, man, you know, I don't know. I don't know what she was supposed to do or not do. I really don't. You know, I think, like I said, she was young. She did the best she could, and I've forgiven everybody that's ever done anything to me because honestly, me loving myself and being exactly who I want to be and where I want to be is bittersweet revenge.
Wow. When you think back on your journey and where you started to where you were at now, do you feel like, let me see how do I word it? Do you feel like if one thing changed here or there, you probably wouldn't be where you're at right now? If you change one thing, like,
I do.
Like I gotta take all of it. You know.
I do. I really do. I think that you know, by no means am I this holy saintly person, but I will say that I always praise God in the good and the seemingly bad, because when things happen that seem bad, you always have to look for the light at the end. Because if I had not been through the things that I've been through, I would not have this drive and this want to help others. And I would not be where I'm at, really. So you know what? It happened. It's done. I am who I am. And I love my life. It's amazing.
Yeah, you have an amazing life going on right now, coaching this team. Speaking of let's get back to boxing. Mauricio Sulaiman a few months back said they were going to introduce transgender boxing. What's your take on that?
You know, it's funny that you asked me, because we actually talked about this on my show before he even introduced it, and we said there, you know, everybody should be happy and do what they want to do, but we all agreed that they needed their own league, because it's not fair. It's not fair um to men that have become women to fight women. It's not fair to the women that are becoming men to fight men. I mean, it doesn't matter how you spin it. Men are stronger for the most part than women. And we've seen some things like in the UFC where I forget the name of the UFC fighter, MMA fighter, who like was crashing, breaking girls' skulls because she had become a woman. The man
Oh,
had become a woman, and it's like, it's not fair. So you know what? More power to them. It's going to bring more fans to the sport. They're going to feel comfortable in their own skin. They don't have to worry about anybody who wants to be nasty and judgmental. I feel like it's a good thing. Let's do it.
okay. Would you train them?
Sure. Actually, I had a boxer that was transitioning, that I love dearly to this day. But at the time this was not available. Um, so he couldn't compete, and now he's doing something else, but love him dearly. Absolutely. Have trained and would train.
What you think of Roy Jones as a trainer? I know a lot of people gave him a lot of slack after that Eubanks loss. They said, "Hey, Roy Jones is teaching people how to fight like him. It's not going to work." What's your take on that?
You know, I won't speak on Roy Jones in general. I'm just going to speak generally speaking.
Yes, ma'am.
I believe a good coach takes their boxer, and all boxers have their own style. They have things that they're good at and that they're bad at, or that they need improvement in. And it's our job to the things that they're good at to make them even better, and the things that they need work on to improve. But we don't change their style as far as whatever their trademark is, their physical capability with their feet or their movement. Yes, there are general things that you need to know. Yes, the basics. But changing someone, I have seen top rate coaches right now that I won't name names, that have a world champion, and then they get other boxers that want to come with them because they have this champion, and they want them to be carbon copies of this first champion, and it just doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I see that a lot too. Like especially with Buzz Camp, I see guys come over there and they want to they want like, hey, I want to know, what are you guys doing with this kid from Omaha? Like, what did you
Right.
guys do? Because nobody from Omaha did what this guy's been doing. What are
Right.
y'all doing? Go ahead.
No, yeah, right. I mean, they took what he had and they made it better. And I think it's fine to say, you took this guy and he's world champion. What can you do with me? But I believe with that particular camp, that they don't try to carbon copy Bud. First of all, you can't. He's a freaking phenomenon, in my opinion. But they take what they have and they build upon it. I've seen other top trainers that I know that don't do that. They want their fighter to be, and my guys have trained these, sparred these guys. So I know they want them to be carbon copies of their first champ. And it just doesn't work that way.
You was over there working with those guys and learning some things over there and trading tips and secrets. How good is Crawford really? Because
Shit.
hey, look, I'm wearing the Errol Spence hat right now because I was
I love him.
Look, I was pandering to you because you're from Texas, so I was pandering. But any other time, I have that red and black hat on over there. I have my Big Bud Crawford hat on.
No, I love it. Look, I love Errol Spence. I've known him since he was 15 when he first started boxing. I knew the gym he came from, Viviro Boxing Gym. He's fought some of my kids. He sparred some of my kids. I love him. I think he's great. I love the kid. Okay, I say kid because he's a kid to me. But but honestly closer to Bud Crawford's camp. Like, I have traveled, I've been to fights, I've been everywhere. I was very close with Maurice Hooker, my late best friend who passed away. Helped mentor him, was a mother to Maurice. Also very close to the Crawford camp. They always treated me like part of the family. They never turn their backs to me. They see me, they greet me. I've been allowed to go to camps. Some of my really close friends, perfecting athletes, or their nutritionists and others. So I love those guys. You know, they've allowed me to see what they do, and I take mental notes because I'm still growing. I'm not going to ever know everything, but I want to know what I can, and I want to learn from the best.
Now, Bud Crawford gets a lot of hate from a lot of people.
He does, unfortunately.
His trainer, his coaches do as well. I've heard people say, and I want you to speak to us because you are a trainer, you are a coach, and you've been on the road with him. You've seen things that we haven't seen, right?
Right. Yes.
I've heard people say Crawford would have been Crawford no matter who he had in his corner. He's just God gifted, like Bomac and them guys, Reds. They ain't doing all of that. None of the other fighters is Crawford. Crawford is just that guy. He's a special guy. But talk to us about the importance of what they are actually doing in there, because I will say this: people have actually said that about Errol Spence too. Like back in the day when he was on Team USA, and I even said that at one time, and I got flack for it. I said, man, he's so freaking talented. All you gotta do is put a water bottle in this corner and he's gonna figure it out. You know, and I said that not to put down anybody else, but just to talk about how great he was. And maybe, you know, at this point in Bud's career, maybe you could do that too, because he is so talented. But I will say this: neither one of those guys could have grown and done the things that they did, either one of them, without a trainer, because you need those outside eyes. You know, you can only see what you can see in front of you whenever you're in the ring, but you need those other eyes to see the things that you can't see. And then they take that, because that's what we do when the kids are sparring or doing tech tack or in tournaments, competitions. We're like, man, we saw this. So when we get on the mitts, this is what we're going to work on. When you get on the bags, this is what you're going to work on, because they can't see everything. So coaches are very necessary. What's the most important thing? Like when you, because you've worked with guys who had other coaches when they come to you.
Absolutely.
You work with guys who were just a ball of clay, and you just molded them and shape them. What do you think is one of the most important things guys should be working on? Like footwork? Is it head movement, jab? Talk to us when that first piece of clay coming to Christine, what do you work on?
Well, it's the whole gamut, but you get there slowly. When I get a kid that first comes in my gym and they want to box, you know, they never boxed before. They just think they're going to get in there, get some gloves on, and just like start throwing punches. First thing we do, and it's so freaking boring, is we work on the feet. We work on the feet. We work on where you hold your hand placement. We work on throwing a punch, how to bring it back so you're protected at all times. And we do this over and over and over again until it's muscle memory, until you have balance, and it's boring. And they're like, oh my God, I've been doing this for 2 weeks. Well, you know what? Until you get it, we might do it for 2 more weeks. Because the most important thing for me is for them to be safe. If I get a world champion or an Olympian, that's great. That's just gravy on top of, you know, the mashed potatoes. But first and foremost, you got to go home to your parents and to your family. I have kids. I have grandkids. I'm going to protect you. That's number one.
Speaking of protecting these fighters, seems like fighters aren't protected. This is another question we've been talking about all week long. The commissions work together. They got no standing 8 count, 12 rounds. Yeah. They have rules. The promoters have rules, and they have things that protect them. Fighters are not too protected. Why is that? Do you think the powers that be doesn't want, they just want to keep it like it is, the Wild Wild West? What say you?
It's a travesty because you always hear people saying boxing is a business. It is a business. It is. you know, and if there's no money to be made, these aren't just boxing fans that are promoting, you know, because they love boxing. They're promoting because they love money, you know. And once they get to a certain level, they have enough money to pass around if they need to, so that they can keep making money off of this certain boxer. So it's corrupt. Some of our boxers are not being taken care of. I think since the last boxer passed, they're trying to be better, you know, at the 8 counts and calling off fights. But it's also the responsibility of the corner. If you see your guy and he's not looking good, don't wait on the ref to stop the fight. Throw a towel in. I don't care if he's going to be mad. I don't care if he's going to fire you. I don't care if he's going to cuss you out and not pay you. You got to save his life.
Hold on. What you mean not pay me?
I'm just saying.
You don't pay me now.
If he threatens not to pay you. My point is
get paid.
My point is you got to save his life, because he's a warrior and all he knows is go. It's up to us to take care of them.
When I hear about that too, like guys going out on their shields, or people saying, "Oh, he quit," or I think they gave Yard some trouble, a little heat, because they was like, he got hit, he went to the corner, and he looked at his trainer, looked like he was looking for a way out.
Yeah.
Did you see that fight? Did you think he was looking for a way out?
Man, that was a badass fight. I did see that fight. I did see that fight.
Did you think he was looking for a way out, or what's your take on that?
I mean, yeah, but you know what? I don't blame him. I don't blame him. It doesn't make him less of a man. It makes him a man that wants to go home to his family. That he's thinking in a split second, man, I mean, I don't feel good. I'm dizzy. I don't have my legs, whatever. He's thinking about his daughter, his son, his wife, his mom, his dad, whatever. Like, you know, I want to go home. He went back
in there, though, Christine. He went back in there. He could have did like Chad Dawson. Remember when Chad Dawson versus Ward? Yes. I think Steve Stoker was the ref. He was like, "You want to fight? You ready to go?" He was like, "I'm good." He was like,
"Yeah,
you know?"
He's
like, "No, I'm straight, bro. I'm good, man. I got paid already. Y'all got a show. I'm good, man." I was like,
"Yeah, no, I know."
But he was like, "Man, I got to go back up and fight for a title. I mean, still defend his title." I think he came down from 68 to 60 to fight Ward, but he just looked at the ref and said, "No, I'm good." He kind of molded me. Like, I'm straight, bro.
Help.
Oh yeah.
You know, I won't criticize a boxer that stays in or doesn't want to stay in. I won't. Like I won't, because I don't know what's going through their mind. I don't know what they've been through. I don't, you know, we gotta realize these guys are human. You know, and the mental part is so important. You know, I don't know if somebody just died in his family, if his woman just left him, if, you know, he lost custody of his kid. Like, I don't know, you know, but then you got to go in here and you got somebody in your face. I don't criticize him. I won't criticize him. I know what it takes to get in there, and I will not criticize.
Talk to us about dealing with a fighter and dealing with that frustration and helping the fighter get their confidence back after being stopped or after you had to throw in the towel. Do they look, you know, let them know, you know, talk to us about that conversation when you guys go back in that room, in that locker room, when you say,
that's hard. That's hard. That's hard when you have somebody that loses a fight, period, but especially like that, like a stoppage or, you know, towel. It's hard. There's really, they've got so many things going through their head. I shoulda, woulda, coulda. You know, what are people gonna think? What's social media? You know, what are my family? You know, everything. Am I gonna get another fight? Am I gonna get dropped? There's so many things. So it's like, honestly, when I've been in that situation, I'm just quiet. I'm quiet. I go over there. I'm the cut person. So I go over there. I wipe their face, make sure they look pretty. You know, because they got to do an interview probably, and I just let them have their time. I really do. I know when I'm upset, I don't want someone just jumping right there in my face. I got to process what just happened.
But also being a trainer and a cut woman, sometimes you might be in the corner, like you said, as the cut woman, but you still your trainer brain and mind.
Yes.
Are you allowed to, or like while they're fighting, do you whisper to the coach, "Man, he got to keep that left hand up, man. He got to bring his jab back quicker," or do you just, "Nope, I'm here to be the cut woman. I don't say nothing to the trainer or the
it really depends on who I'm working with. It does, because there's some coaches that they have the attitude, and with no, it's not bad, that this is my thing. You're here to do cuts.
Mm.
Don't tell them nothing. Don't. But it's just like an unspoken rule. But if it's somebody that I know and we work together and they look to me like, man, what do you think? Like, what do you think? Then I'm gonna talk to him right then and there. I don't talk to him in the ring though. When I'm in the ring, I'm calm and I take care of my job. The whole time that my fighter is fighting, I'm looking at their face and making sure they don't have any abrasions, any eggs on their forehead, any blood. That is my focus. But yeah, it just depends on who I'm working with.
Cool. You got time to take a couple calls, or let people ask a couple?
Absolutely. Let's go.
All right, I appreciate your time, man. I really
Yeah,
appreciate
for sure. I appreciate you. It's
Yeah, you
fun.
super dope. Yeah, you super dope, man. And
Thanks.
I appreciate you sharing your story with us. Hopefully, like I said, somebody's gonna be inspired by this.
Yes, I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
I'm gonna drop the link out there. I'm gonna let you guys beam up, ask her a question or two, and I'll open the phone lines up. Let me put the phone number on the screen so y'all know what I mean when I say these things. Put it on the screen. While I do that, let me ask you this. Talk to us about this. You give back to your community a lot. Talk to us about some of the things that you
For
do to
sure.
give and inspire other people.
My gym is nonprofit. We don't, obviously we don't do it for the money. We do it for our neighborhood, for kids that don't have a place to go. I mean, honestly, my gym is sometimes people's second home, and we're mom and dad. I've had boxers live with me. One of my boxing daughters is going to be giving birth when I come home, and I'm going to be there with her. We raised her through high school and college, and we really give everything. We give everything to our boxers.
I didn't know this the other day. Somebody was talking about Michigan. I think who told me they had a boxing scholarship.
Oh, that was back in the day. Yeah,
So
Marquette, Michigan.
they don't do that anymore.
No.
Why do you think the USA amateur system isn't as illustrious as it used to be? Why are guys not doing the amateur programs? Why are they not going to the Olympics? They get to a point, boom, I'm going straight pro. Why is that? Is it just because of the money? Is it
No,
the gold anymore?
I mean, I've heard people say that, but anyone that I talk to and anyone that we've had here in camp and stuff, and this is what they've been dreaming of. Like, there's still people that want to come through the program, because honestly, with coming through the program and then going pro, I mean, your stock is raised. Whether you want to go pro or not, it's just this is like it as far as the amateurs, to be on Team USA. I don't know. I haven't experienced that. I really haven't. Like, everybody's goal is to get here, that I know and that I talk to.
I see a lot of guys skip the amateurs, man. They just skip that stuff. They just
and they some do, and that's okay. I think that there's still some old school coaches that are like, you don't need that. You can fight. I tend to question some of those coaches, because I've known some where they just kind of get a guy on the street, or a guy comes in and he wants to go pro, let's go, and to me, they're doing it for the wrong reasons. They're trying to make money off this kid that, of course, the kid thinks he can fight. Of course, he thinks he's tough and nobody can beat him. Who doesn't think they're great? And then you got somebody boosting you. So yeah, let's go pro. I don't need to go through the amateur program. And then the coach is like, okay, yeah, this is how I make my money. This is how I pay my rent. This is how I pay for my wife's car. So let's go.
Tell us about a time where you had to kick somebody off the team. Talk to us about that, because everybody doesn't make it. Talk to us about that, where not kick them off, where you have to tell them, I'm sorry, it's not going to be you this year.
So as far as my own gym or up here?
Both.
So in my own gym, I've never kicked anybody out, because like I said, it's more than a gym. It's more than just being a boxer. I want them to be champions in life. I have some kids that are on the spectrum that they will never compete, that I would never let them get hit in the head.
Why is
But
that? Why is that?
they're on the spectrum. They're
Oh,
they're not totally 100%, and I won't allow it.
okay.
But they need a place to go, so they come and they hit the bags. They come and they make friends with their boxing peers. They do mitts. They do everything.
Get in shape.
Exactly.
Our
And
mental
so
focus. Yeah.
so kicking anybody out, we've never had to do that. We've had all walks of life. Trust me. I mean, I one time I went to one of Spence's fights when he first went pro, and it was Gangster's Paradise, and everybody that was there were my boxers, and they're like, "Oh my God, Miss Christine, oh my God, I was on the floor, and they want to buy me this and do this." We don't turn anyone away. We treat everybody the same. We love them all.
So talk to us about that when you have to tell somebody who come out there to you guys in Colorado, correct?
We're in Colorado Springs, yes.
They left New York, Philly, Atlanta, Florida. They came out there. Their family packed them off. They trust you with them. They're just not going to make it this year.
Yeah, it's not. So it's not quite that simple. So there's a process. They have to win USA national tournaments. They have to win, especially during a time when it matters, when we're looking for Team USA and the number ones and number twos. So it's a process. They go through their LBC, and then they go to nationals, and then they beat the number one, or they're the number two. But during a specific time of the year, we have contracts with our number one. So for that year, they're number one, even if somebody is number one that won nationals. So they'll come up to camp as number two until they get the opportunity to try to compete for the number one spot. And so now, like, we're in selection camp, so there are going to be some kids going home. We have to look at their performances, but not only in the ring, but outside of the ring. Are they following the rules? Because we have to think these guys and girls are going to represent the United States of America. So there are going to be some sad eyes, at the end of this, and it's heartbreaking. But they're all on a point system. They start with X amount of points, and then it's deducted, and whoever has the most points at the end in that weight class, they're the ones that stay.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
So they start off with points from their record, or do you mean like?
No, they just come in. Everybody, it's just like, you go in and you get a bag full of chips when you're, gonna play on the poker or whatever it is. You get all your chips, and then as they, start whatever getting deducted, whatever you're left with, that's what it is.
Who decides the deductions?
It's kind of a the coaches have input as far as us working with them every day, but it all comes down to our head coach, Billy Walsh, and our manager, Matt. Yeah, he's up there. It comes down to them, and Billy's really the one that has the last word.
You have a question right here. Excuse me. Cooking with Sir saying, you said, Mara, ask her thoughts on my guy, Carmel Moulton.
Okay, Carmel Moulton. I'm not familiar. Is he youth? Is he amateur? Is he on the youth team, or is he elite? Because I'm not familiar with that name.
Yeah, me neither. Let me see. Carmel Moulton.
Carmel Moulton, no.
Carmel Moulton. Let me see. Boxer Carmel Moulton.
Or is he professional?
I think he's an amateur.
So he might be on the youth team. So there's a bunch of I don't work with the youths at all. I work with the elites. There's a lot of talent in the youth pool. There are, and they are going to come up to the elites eventually. The future is very bright. It really is.
Okay, well, I thought somebody wanted to pull up and ask you a question or two, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Maybe they're getting a little stage fright. Maybe I don't know what to say right now. I think you asked everything, Mark Nash. Talk to us and tell us how people can follow you and how they can support you on any and everything you're going. How did they donate to your nonprofit in your gym? Like, let's say they just want to send some gloves over, or
great.
Talk to us. How can they support?
So all of my social media handles are In the Ring with Christine. And my gym is Texas Select Boxing Club. It's on Instagram and Facebook. We if anybody wants to donate, monetarily or equipment, we'll give you our tax ID so that you can, it can count against your taxes. So just inbox me, at Texas Select Boxing Club. We're in Garland, Texas. And please watch our show. And also, ladies and gentlemen, Valentine's Day is coming up. And if you need some Manscaped products, you get 20% off and free shipping with the code WCIW, Women Crushing It Wednesday. So, that's another little perk for
what is it? WC Women Crushing
Women Crushing It Wednesday, WCIW. Yes, 20% off and free shipping. But check out the show every Wednesdays. We have so much fun. Next Wednesday we're having Jamal Herring on. He's got some things he wants to put out. So he's going to do it on the platform, and we're just going to chop it up.
You're going to break some news for us over there?
We might be breaking some news. You never know.
All right, I got my guy right here, HLD. I think he wants to ask you a question or have a comment. Go
HLD,
ahead.
hey.
What up, bro? Welcome home. Unmute your mic, big dog.
Hey, what's going on, Mark? Hola, Christine. How we doing?
Hola, how are you?
I'm doing good, sweetie. Look, you gave such an amazing story on your background of your life, and there's not much of a question. It's more of a statement that you by far are one of the strongest, most beautiful women on the platform of YTBC and in boxing. Your story is inspirational. Your story is courageous, and just much love for you, sweetie. Just much love, and you know that. But I just want to, just share that because I think it was very inspirational.
Thank you so much. It means a lot.
Crying, are you? You sound a little emotional, bro.
Oh, I am, man. I am. I got no
He's
problem
making me cry.
But real quick, let's change it a little bit because I don't want to leave it on a my man from Puerto Rico, the young assassin. We know the 154 future champion. How much longer do we think he needs to wait before he gets in the ring with a top 5 guy?
Man, so he's fighting this weekend, right?
What's the name? Say the name for the people who don't know.
Xander, right?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, he's fighting this weekend. I thought about that. I've thought about that, like who I'd want to see him with. That's what, like, when the mom side of me comes out, I'm like, he's still a baby.
Yes.
But I know it's time. It's getting time, and people are starting to question. They're looking at the past fights, and they're like starting to pick flaws. So I think something needs to happen. I just don't know. Who do you think?
Well, as far as him cracking who in the top 5, I don't know if anybody just yet. I'm just looking about time frame. Right. I'm thinking maybe another year and a half.
Yeah, 2.
Right. Yeah, and the reason I'm asking is I know everybody's is starting to want to step on the gas with the young kid.
I know,
and I don't want anybody to think that there's any pressure for him to get to where he's not ready to be at just yet.
I agree.
So I'm not trying to hype up the young man. He's a good young kid. He's a prospect to be seen.
Yes.
I'm not gonna hype him up like everybody hypes up everybody else, like the Russell at 140 or the Brandon Lee.
Yeah.
And then when they get the competition that's high, you see them how they start cracking.
Yes, exactly. But you know what? And he has Peter. Peter Kahn is his manager. He takes really good care of him. I really like Peter. He's a good guy in my opinion. He's also Franchon Cruz's manager, who you had on. And I think that he will be smart with him. I do.
One last question.
Take your time, bro.
Okay. Hey, what do you feel about what Berlanga ended up doing with Top Rank and one, and then I'll try to speed up his career, thinking he's ready for the big time. Man. Is he gonna pay the ultimate price?
Man, you know what? I'm so afraid for that, because I just heard a rumor today about Eddie talking about, you know what? Let me get him signed up and let me get him ready for Canelo. And I'm like, man, no, man. It's a payday. It's a payday, and I'm like, I don't want to see that. Like I've followed and seen Berlanga since the amateurs. I've been honored enough to sit at a dinner table with him and be around him. He's such a nice guy, and his wife and his son. And I'm just like, I think the problem was that they did fast track him. Part of a good manager and trainer is to say, you know what, you don't got to knock everybody out, even if you can. Like, we need these rounds, we need this time in the ring. It's learning for the next fight, for the future. And he was knocking everybody out. And then of course you have to like put him in there with somebody else. And then he didn't deliver, but he didn't know how to deliver because he never had to.
Do you think at this point maybe they're just, hey man, if we could land the big paycheck check and we just cash out on this fast fame, that's really an illusion type of thing, but he'll just cash in on the fame and call it a day.
Unfortunately, it just looks that way to me. And we mentioned it earlier, like, it's not just a cliche that boxing is a business. It is a business. And if they don't see dollar signs when they look in his face, then they don't want him. But they do. Right now, he's at a point where he just left Top Rank, and I saw Oscar was talking to him too, and Eddie, and they both see dollar signs, and they're like, okay, they don't care about the kid. They see a paycheck, and it's so sad because these warriors are like, man, I'll fight anybody. I can beat anybody, as they should feel that way.
Absolutely. That's kind of how I feel about the young man. I think he's also knows that he's not as, to me, he's never been as good as he thought he was.
Right.
And we started seeing also the chinks in his armor in the last few fights.
Yes.
And so if his fame is high, yeah, man, let me cash this in, even if I get blown out, and then walk away into the sunset. But
yeah. Unfortunately, that's the ugly side of it.
But some guys are ready, though. Some guys are ready very early on, earlier than others, right? How do you ascertain, like?
Well, like Lomachenko, when he fought, he did his pro debut, he said, I want to fight for a title. And what happened to him? And he had 300 amateur fights under his belt. You would think he was ready. But honestly, you're not ready until you're ready. It's like the amateurs and the pros are two different things, and if you're knocking everybody out, you're not getting that schooling. You're not getting that college that you need for the bigger fight down the line. Even if you can knock this guy out, get those rounds, work on things y'all been working on in the gym, with your coach. Maybe y'all have a game plan that y'all want to follow because y'all been watching film, which you should have been. Okay, this is what I want you to do this round. This is going this way. Let's do this. There has to be a strategy. You can't just go in there and knock everybody out, because then what? You can't knock everybody out.
Not everybody's a special fighter. It's just, there's certain breeds. This young kid, Bam Rodriguez, that's a special breed.
Special.
When is he ready? He's ready because he shows you he's ready.
Yes.
And it's simple as that. When are you ready? When you show it in the ring amongst whatever. If the other guy is really a B-level fighter against you, you're going to make him look like a B-level fighter, and you're going to just, the saying goes, take out the trash.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And so when you prove it, that's my opinion. You prove it in the ring.
Yeah.
Simple as that. That's when you're ready.
But sometimes you don't know. Like even Alexis Rocha, he said, I don't know if I won't know I'm ready until I get in there. You see?
And that right there,
got to put a case
that's
on
part
him.
of your mentality. It's like right there, you have a doubt. That's dangerous.
Yeah. I think Ortiz said it too. I don't know if I'm ready, but that's the fight I want.
Those are doubts.
You can have no doubts. I'm ready. Let's go. Let's eat. Let's go right now. Let's go. I can fight you in your backyard right now.
You seen these guys though? Can they beat? Can he beat Bud Crawford, Alexis Rocha, Virgil Ortiz? What do you think?
I think that I would not want to see Virgil in there right now with Crawford, because I believe that Crawford would win, and I love Virgil. I think he's great. I've known that kid since he was 9 years old. He's super talented.
9.
Super talented. But I think that right now is not the right time. Maybe in a year or two, but right now is not the right time.
I disagree, Christine. He's number 1 in the WBO. Though.
I know. And let's talk about that. Let's talk about these politics. I've been to these conventions. I see what happens. I see what happens. Um, Night before the convention, people having dinners together, making deals, doing this. Then a manager comes up the next day with the rankings. Hey, why is my guy number 10? He should be number 5. Oh, you want your guy to be number 5? Okay, we're gonna boost him up. He's number 5. Trust me, it's not always fair.
But why babysit that number 1 spot then? He's been number 1 over there since Sean Porter fought Crawford. It was like, it was Porter, it went to Virgil, then went back to Porter. Now he's over there, instead of saying, hey, I want my title shot, I'm number 1, he's going the WBA route, and he's fighting to possibly maybe be the mandatory for the versus standing on.
I mean, what, and I know he had some health issues and some things going on, but what's going on? What's he doing?
Let's go to Champion Heart. Champion Heart, thanks for pulling up. Welcome home. Welcome back to the neighborhood, Playboy. Talk to me.
What's up, my brother? How you doing, man?
I'm always good, even when it's bad, my brother.
Right. HLD, what's up, brother?
Good, man.
All right, most definitely. Salute to you, Christine.
Thank you.
Again, like HLD said, your story is very inspirational, and you're definitely a survivor. I'm glad that you're still here with us, and I think it's great that you are. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. You are the first female to be a cut. I won't say guy cut person. Is that correct?
As a first female to be a cut, there's been other cut women, for sure. There's been others. I can't name any right off the bat, but
yeah, I actually can't remember any. That's why I said that.
I've seen them. I think.
Okay.
But thank you, though. Thank you.
Most definitely. So you're in Garland, is that right?
My gym is in Garland, and I live in Rowlett. Yes, which is like 5 minutes up the road.
Okay. I'm gonna come check you out. I'm in Arlington.
Oh, are you? That's fabulous.
Yeah.
So do you have a gym there?
No, I just live there. I used to train over at I don't know if you're familiar with John Lawson.
Lawman. Yeah.
Lawman, exactly. Yeah. He was my boxing coach. I've got a martial arts background.
Wow.
But he was my boxing coach when I was fighting, when I was kickboxing.
God bless his soul. Yes.
Yeah. He passed, but man, that was my dude. That was my guy.
Loved him.
That's definitely his son has taken it over, and that's cool.
Know. And he's doing good.
He's doing real good. Most definitely. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna come check you out when I get back in town.
Thank you.
But let me ask you this: what's your opinion on Clarissa Shields?
As far as
what she's done for women's boxing.
Man, she's done amazing things for women's boxing. She really has. Who else has gotten 2 golds? She could have gotten a 3rd, I'm sure, if that's what she wanted to do. I love to see success stories. She came from somewhere where there was little hope, and she made it out of there, and she's still there, and she's inspiring women and men, in her town. I think that she has earned her stripes, and she can say and do what she wants to do, and nobody can say anything about it.
Is she the GOAT? Is she the greatest woman fighter of all time?
Well,
now
come on now. Look. I have two favorites. Okay, 2 favorite boxers. Period. I have 5, but 2. Christy Martin and Ann Wolfe. Those are my girls.
Oh yeah, Ann Wolfe. No, ain't no joke.
So I'm not ready to call anybody the GOAT, because those 2 ladies right there, though there are others, yes there are, but for me, they were the pioneers. I wish, we're the same age, but I wish that they were around when I was a little girl, because man, I would have been in the ring. I would have been done this earlier, Yeah. And I just happen to know both of them, and I can call them friends, and they still inspire me to this day and give me strength.
That's what's up. Let me ask you this before I go. You think Layla ducked Anwolf?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would have too.
Right,
She's
right.
still tough. She's still tough.
Right. Well, definitely salute to you. And like I said, when I get
Thank
back town, I'm gonna come check you out.
Definitely. I'll be back in town on February 27th, and I'll be home for 3 weeks. And then I'm back over
Okay,
here.
cool. Sounds
Come
good.
see
That'll
you.
work.
Okay.
All right, most definitely. All right.
Take
When we
care.
had Christy Martin on, she said, "Would I say I was the best? I don't know, but I'm gonna tell you wasn't the best. Lucia Riker, she was not. The
She
best.
loved. Yeah.
I was like, oh, I said Christy Martin. I said shots fired. She was not the best. I was like,
I know. Yeah, she has said that.
yeah, man, I didn't know you was that tight with Ann Wolf. I might need to reach out to you for a favor, man. See if we can get on for one day.
Okay, for sure.
That's it for me, HOD. You got anything else? Anybody got anything else you want to say to the sister?
No, man. Just much love to everybody out here in the chat. Christine, much love to you. Thank you for coming on.
My friend.
You know, welcome to the neighborhood.
Hey, I like it.
And hey, God bless everybody. We'll talk soon.
Thank you so much.
Hey, look, and again, man, please plug your dope ass channel. I know we've been saying it all night.
Yes, no, please, yes. Everybody, please subscribe to In the Ring with Christine. I need some more subs, man. I'm trying to get paid like everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
I know that's right.
Now. And also, please tune into the show every Wednesday. Women Crushing It Wednesdays.
What time?
All the ladies, all boxing. We have so much.
What time on Wednesdays? What time?
8 Central.
8 Central.
8 Central, 9 Eastern. Yes.
Let me ask you this: being a host, right, of a show,
Yes.
how different is it from going from that to doing what we're doing tonight and seeing here, like, just?
I like it. I like it. And you know what? If you would have told me like 10 years ago that I would have a show and I would be speaking in public and I'd be on other people's show, I'd be like, oh no, hell no, I'm not doing it. I wanted to be in the background. I didn't want to be there, but you know, you do what you got to do. Oh,
before I forget, as a trainer, what do you think about my sister Rachel Donaire and what she's doing with and their I always call them boxing royalty. What do you think of what you got going on over there?
Oh, I love it. She's fabulous. Yeah. You know, I love to see it. When I say strong, and I mean it in every sense of the world, I love to see these strong women coming out in boxing and doing what they want to do, how they want to do it, but not only for themselves, they're doing it for others. It's like she's helping others. She's inspiring others. She's giving people advice, you know. I love it. Like, I think she's fabulous. And I'm so glad that she was the connect for us, you know. And that's what I'm talking about. What does she have to gain from this? You know, I have so much. I never knew her before she was on our show a couple of times. And I'm so glad to meet her. I always admired her husband. I think he's a badass. I would see her, but never knew her. And I mean, I have such a respect for her.
She's in the chat. She said, whoa, calm down now.
Yes, I have such a respect for you, girl.
I got love for her, man. Like, she's phenomenal. Like, I probably talk to her almost every day since we met. And yeah, like thank you.
She's amazing. Yes. Yeah. I thank you, Rachel, for letting us make this connection. I really do.
Absolutely. Well, that's it for me, man. Before I let you go, I have to get a drop from you. I gotta get you to plug the show. As you can see at the top, it's Breaking Beats. So let me get those drops from you. Okay, so you gotta tell me what I need to do. So this is In the Ring with Christine, and you're watching Breaking Beats. Okay, this is In the Ring with Christine, and you're watching Breaking Beats. Let's get it. Thank you so much, sister. God bless you. Thank you so much. Take care. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, you'll see me over there on Wednesday. We're gonna be over there. Okay, and you got to get on the show too. We're gonna set that up too. I'm the interviewer. Hey, look, it's not even about an interview. It's about we're having a conversation. You're gonna have 3 ladies around you. We talking boxing. We're gonna get down. Well, the 3 ladies I want around, I don't want us to be talking about a boxing, but I'll put a case on me. All right, you know. We don't believe. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much. God bless. And I'll
Thank
be in
you.
touch,
Same.
and I'll definitely be supporting you, sharing your links. And
Thank
we
you so
are
much.
rooting for Team USA. Bring us back that gold.
Ooh, yeah, you got it. Have a good night.
God
Bye-bye.
bless. Get some rest. Peace.
God bless.
All right, bye. All right. Well, there you go. There you have it. There you have it. Another great episode of Breaking Beats. Where we break down business, entertainment, art, technology, sports, and anything else you and I feel like talking about. It's a hip-hop political sports show with a comedy twist. We like to let the jokes fly because life is serious enough. Hopefully you guys learned something today. You were inspired. You were educated, and I look forward to doing another one of these very soon. So thank you again for your time. Thank you for your energy. I would be remiss if I didn't do a big old neighbors only roll call, because without the neighbors, the show would not be the show at this level. So let's shout them all out, because man, this has been a hell of a week, man. I've really been enjoying this one. So let's do it. Let's do it. Let's shout out to everybody who supported this show. Shout out to my guy, that guy Eclipse. Got the Smoke Signal podcast. Y'all check him out. Excuse me.
What do you mean by that?
There we go. Shout out to True Media Today, USA Boxing. That's my guy, Coach Malachi Williams. Tar Heel Resin. Pudo. Stephen Bateman. All the way in Australia. Mama, we made it.
What up, gangsta?
Food Revolution.
What up?
C. Jones 0224.
What up?
Sweaty Teddy.
What up?
KP from KC5. He all the way in Hawaii right now. He's in Hawaii. Just send me some pictures. He said, man, Hawaii is beautiful, bro. I'm glad you're enjoying your trip, bro. TJR.
What up?
Matt Wade got a nice album and got a couple good singles out on the side. And yeah, he got a lot of dope music. So check out Matt Wade. That's MATTWADE.
What up?
My boy DJ.
What up?
Carmen Serene with the Serene Saturdays. Check her out.
What up?
Kansas City Mac.
What up?
Ill Status Boxing.
What up?
Ace Retro.
What up?
Tank the Sweet Science Examiner.
What up?
Beyond and Above Media.
What up?
Pittsburgh T.
What up?
SF City Slicker.
What up?
I Know Boxing.
What up?
Thanks for the kind words in the chat too. I Know Boxing. I really appreciate it, bro.
What up?
I don't take it lightly at all. Boxing Lounge.
What up?
It's Mex.
What up?
Mike from Boston.
What up?
Ride Up the Storm.
What up?
Here to There.
What up?
Miss Queen Sunkiss. Thanks for sharing the link.
What up?
Taylor Bell.
What up?
Maddie Yoel.
What up?
Cliff Bailey.
What up?
Con Shonery.
What up?
Lisa Bells. Thanks for always sharing.
What up?
Cooking with the Champ. Thanks for pulling up. Good questions, man.
What up?
Terrence Bailey Sr. on the mic with Terrence Bailey Sr.
What up?
HLD, always killing it. Thank you, bro.
What up?
Cooking with Sir Senior. Good questions. Thank you again.
What up?
Brandon Washington. Welcome home, my brother. Welcome back.
What up?
Born Supreme.
What up?
Lady Shan done them season, man. I know she gonna hate she missed this one. You know, she's in the UK. So it's about 5 out. So yeah, it's about 4:35 in the morning almost over there. So I know she's gonna check the playback. So it's all love. Where we at? My brother D Bevel the Champ.
What up?
And of course, the big fish himself, my good brother Derek Lincoln.
What up, gangsta?
All right, man. I hope y'all enjoyed this one, man. I hope y'all enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed bringing you guys this content. Hey, look, man, sometimes we're going to agree. Sometimes we're going to disagree. But one thing's for certain, two things for sure, homeboy. Never forget this.
I built this shit. Me. Brick by brick. And I'll be damned if I let you tear it down just because you don't like the way another nigga talk.
And I mean that. Drive, motherfucker.
This that squad sound.
Make sure y'all got the notifications on. I might do a little pop-up on y'all. You know what I'm saying? You know how I do. Love y'all. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace. Oh, yeah, we got to let Dr. Martin say his famous words.
Subscribe. I don't care how many subscribers he has. Support him. So he made all this possible. He made this possible.
Nah, Dr. Mark, God made this possible. And so did viewers like you. I'll see y'all in a little